Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we step into a nightmare frozen in time, a remote Alaskan cabin where visitors vanish without a trace. Locals warn. The air itself seems alive with something watching. Tonight, we'll hear the true story of the Alaskan cabin horror, a place where fear waits in every shadow, and leaving is never guaranteed. I've tried for years to bury this story, to push it down so far in my memory that it can't claw its way back up again. But it's been getting harder. I don't sleep well anymore. I keep waking up to little things I shouldn't notice. A creak in the hallway, a long breath behind the bedroom door, a shadow that lingers a second too long before sliding away. So maybe telling all of this will help. Or maybe it'll just remind me why I still can't stand the sound of cold wind moving through the trees. My name is Elliot, and 9 years ago, I had an experience in Alaska that still haunts me. I don't mean that in the dramatic, spooky story sense. I mean it literally. I've lived through storms, close encounters with wildlife, isolation, and exposure. But nothing ever came close to what happened near that ruined cabin in the Talkeetnas. Back then, I worked seasonally on wildlife surveys. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid well enough and gave me a reason to see the parts of the world that most people only view from satellites. My job was simple: rotate between remote cabins, record data, check tracking stations, and send updates every morning to the regional office. Most cabins were old but functional. A little drafty, maybe, but safe. Quiet. Predictable. The last one, though, the one that changed everything, looked like something nature had started eating and never finished digesting. I still remember the week before I went out there. My life felt normal, peaceful, and yet, beneath all that calm, there was this steady buildup of unease I kept trying to ignore. At first, it was just little things. Waking up at night feeling watched, or catching faint tapping sounds in the supply cabin where I'd been stationed. Taps so evenly spaced they sounded intentional. Tap, pause, tap, pause, tap. Every time I tried to stamp on the floor to scare off whatever it was, the tapping stopped immediately. And once, just once, I heard something breathe under the floorboards in response. A slow, shaky inhale. A wet exhale. I told myself it was vermin. A trapped animal. Something explainable. But even then, I didn't really believe it. 2 days later, the assignment came in. Talkeetna region, cabin 18B, 6-day rotation. I asked the logistics tech if there were any notes about structural issues, because the pictures in the file were rough. The guy hesitated, and that should have been my first red flag, before shrugging and saying, "It's old. Just be careful around the porch." Nobody mentioned the history. Nobody mentioned the disappearance. I flew out the next morning on a bush plane that felt one strong gust away from tearing apart midair. But the view, the white wilderness spreading endlessly beneath me, was enough to soothe my nerves for a while. Alaska has a way of making you feel both insignificant and invincible at the same time. But the moment the plane touched down and I stepped out into that clearing, that feeling evaporated. The cabin sat half-buried in snow between a line of skeletal spruce trees, leaning as though something had pushed on it from the side. Windows dark and broken. Porch collapsed. Roof sagging. Even from a distance, it looked abandoned. Not the kind of abandon that comes from weather and time, but the kind that comes from being left behind on purpose. Like something about it was wrong. The pilot shut down the engine and gestured at the place with a half-smile. "You sure you don't want to come back on a return flight?" he joked. I laughed, but it sounded forced even to me. And then the engine roared back to life. That moment, the one where he lifted off and left me standing alone in that silent clearing, that's when it hit me, truly hit me, that I was completely isolated, that whatever happened from here forward, there would be no quick escape. The cabin door was hanging crooked in its frame, propped shut, with an old plank wedged under the latch. I had to tug it twice before it scraped open far enough for me to slip inside. And as soon as I stepped through, the temperature dropped instantly. Not just a small chill, but a cold that felt alive, heavy, like stepping into a freezer that someone had breathed into for years. Inside, everything was coated in dust. The air smelled old, not musty, not moldy, but old in the way you smell something long dead. A slanted beam of light from a crack in the roof cut across the room, illuminating floating particles that looked like ash. I set my pack down, trying to ignore the prickle rising up my neck. The place felt wrong. Not haunted. I'd never believed in ghosts, but occupied, as though the air itself had a presence. I told myself I was being dramatic, sleep-deprived, overworked, but the floorboards didn't creak like normal wood. They creaked like something reacting to me, like they were aware. My first day was uneventful, settling in, recording temperatures, taking samples, sending an afternoon radio check-in. But even during daylight, I kept thinking I heard movement from different corners of the cabin. Light scuffs, barely their footsteps. A sound like fingers brushing gently along the wall. I reasoned it away: squirrels, expanding wood, shifting ice. But every explanation felt thinner than the one before it. That night, I lit a small fire on the hearth, trying to push away the creeping insulation of darkness pressing at the cabin walls. Still, the interior never warmed. It remained cold enough that every breath fogged the air. I crawled into the cot, fully clothed, wrapped in 2 blankets. I was exhausted enough that I thought I could sleep through anything. I was wrong. I woke up to breathing. Wet, slow, close. Not outside, not through the walls. Inside the cabin, right next to the cot. My eyes snapped open, but I didn't move. My body went completely rigid, as though my muscles decided on their own that stillness meant survival. The room was so dark I couldn't see my own hand. All I could do was listen. The breathing shifted, not fading, repositioning, like something leaning down or turning its head. Very faint clicks followed, like joints adjusting. It lasted maybe 10 seconds, maybe a full minute. It felt like an hour. When I finally forced myself to reach for the flashlight, my hand shook so badly I knocked it off the crate beside the cot. It hit the floor with a loud clatter, and instantly the breathing stopped. Silence. A silence that felt offended. I froze, waiting for movement. A step. A scrape. Anything. Nothing. But my mind replayed the sound. That sticky inhale. That trembling exhale. And I knew beyond any doubt that it hadn't been part of a dream. When I finally dared to turn on the flashlight, the beam cut through the black and revealed nothing but emptiness. Just my gear, my notes, the sagging walls. But the dust on the floor, untouched when I arrived, was disturbed in several places, as though feet had walked through it. Long, dragging tracks, some crossing the room, some stopping right beside the cot. My stomach dropped so hard I almost got sick right then. I didn't sleep after that. I sat upright in the cot until the cabin's interior brightened to a pale, colorless gray with the late sunrise. By morning, I had convinced myself it was an animal, a hallucination, an anxiety episode. But when I saw the tracks again, different this time, as though something had paced the room while I wasn't looking, every excuse fell apart. Still I stayed, stupid, determined, afraid of losing credibility, afraid of being labeled unstable in a job that relied heavily on mental resilience. The second night broke whatever rational explanations I had left. Just before dusk, while checking instruments outside, I spotted someone, or something, standing on the frozen creek. A shape, a figure, too tall, too still. At first I thought it was a person in heavy winter gear, but the longer I stared, the more obvious it became that no human stands that still. Not in that cold, not without shifting weight, not without fogging the air with their breath. But this thing didn't breathe. It watched, not facing me, not turning its head. It simply stood there, angled slightly toward the tree line, but wrong somehow, like its joints didn't match the direction its torso faced. as though its shape was borrowed, not natural. I whispered, "Hello." My voice cracked in the frigid air. No response. I took a single step toward it. The figure slid, not stepped, slid backward into the trees, vanishing between them without making a sound. No crunching snow, no shifting branches, just gone. I ran back to the cabin, adrenaline turning my limbs to ice. That night, the footsteps came back, circling the cabin, crunching snow, slow and steady. Once, twice, a third time, I pressed my back to the wall, holding my breath as whatever it was paused right outside. Then came the breathing again, heavy, thirsty, filled with an awful patience. A long, dragging sound scraped along the logs. Fingers. I swear it was fingers. I stayed perfectly still, terrified that any movement, any sound, would draw it in. And then something whispered. A soft, almost curious hiss. Not in English. Not in any language I recognized. But it was speech. It was directed at me. For the first time in my life, I understood what it felt like for every instinct in your body to scream one command. Do. Not. Move. When it finally left, hours later, the silence felt like a living thing. By sunrise, I had made my decision. I wasn't staying another night. I packed with trembling hands, grabbed every piece of gear I could carry, and radioed the pilot for early extraction. The radio reply was nothing but static. Static that, at times, almost sounded like whispering. Almost. That's when I decided to hike to the ranger station. 6 miles. Rough terrain. Snow waist-deep in places. Better than staying here. Better than waiting. I left just before noon. But here's the thing most people don't understand about the deep woods. Sometimes the silence follows you. Sometimes the quiet behind you isn't just the absence of sound. It's the presence of something moving silently. Half a mile into the hike, I felt it. It was behind me. Not close. Not visible. But aware of me. Tracking me. Matching my pace from far enough away to be unseen and close enough to be undeniable. The forest went dead silent. No birds. No branches shifting in the wind. Just the sound of my boots crunching in the snow, and something behind me matching each crunch with the softer, more deliberate one. By the time I reached the 2nd-mile marker, I was fully convinced I wasn't going to make it to the station. And that's when I heard it again. Breathing. But this time not behind me. Above me. The next morning, Jacob wakes to the sound of branches snapping somewhere far off in the trees. Too rhythmic to be the wind. Too heavy to be an animal. Evelyn is already outside the tent, staring into the woods like she's listening to something he can't hear. She points. A narrow footpath. One that definitely hadn't been there the previous day. Now snakes deeper into the forest. The dirt looks freshly disturbed, as though something walked through again and again until a trail was carved. Evelyn says she heard whispering just before dawn, like voices trying to lure her out of the tent. Jacob notices something she doesn't. The footprints leading down the trail aren't human. Not animal either. Something in between, like something learning to walk like them. They follow anyway, because the alternative, waiting in the silent clearing, feels worse. The path ends in a small grove dominated by towering dead trees. Every trunk is carved with the same shape. A tall, stick-thin figure with branching antlers and hollow eyes. Dozens of them. Evelyn's voice trembles. This is a warning or a boundary. Jacob steps closer. Every carving seems to face inward, toward a rotting stump at the center of the grove. On it rests a small object, a buck skull with human teeth embedded along the jawline. Before either of them can speak, they hear something moving through the trees, a soft, deliberate bipedal gait. But whatever it isn't approaching the grove. It's circling them, as though herding. They crouch behind the carved trees, breathing shallow gasps. Something enormous moves between the trunks, its limbs scraping, bending, cracking. Jacob whispers. It's the thing from a photo. A tall silhouette passes between the trees, too thin, too elongated, its joints bending slightly wrong. Then, a voice. Evelyn's voice. But Evelyn hasn't spoken. The mimicry is perfect, but empty, like someone replaying a sound without truly understanding it. Jacob, help. The real Evelyn grips Jacob's arm and shakes her head violently. The mimicry continues. Soft at first, then louder. Closer. They don't run. Running would announce their location. Instead, they backstep quietly, returning to the trail until they can break the line of sight. As soon as they hit the clearing, the sounds stop, like the forest is holding its breath. Back at camp, Jacob checks his camera, hoping he caught something. But the footage from the grove is gone, not corrupted, completely missing, as if it was never recorded. He scrolls backward. Every clip from the past 12 hours is intact, except the ones where the creature appeared. Evelyn says, "It doesn't want to be remembered." Jacob replies, "No, it doesn't want to be understood." Then Evelyn freezes, because at the far edge of their clearing, the trees sway in a pattern, not from wind, from footsteps. Something is standing just a few yards back, hidden in the shadows. Watching, they decide to leave immediately. Within minutes, they pack only essentials and speed walk toward the main trail. But the forest is wrong. Landmarks from the previous day are gone. Trees look identical. Birds have stopped calling. It feels less like getting lost and more like the forest is rearranging itself. The trail eventually funnels into a narrow choke point lined with fallen logs. Evelyn steps over one and freezes. At her feet lies a freshly severed deer leg, placed neatly across the trail. Not chewed, not clawed, set down, like bait. Jacob hears a dry clicking sound coming from the trees above them, like bones tapping together. Then a voice rings out. "Found you." The voice is Jacob's. The sky darkens unnaturally fast. Not sunset, something blocking out the light. A thick gray haze rolls in through the trees, making it impossible to see more than a few feet ahead. Evelyn lights her flashlight. It flickers violently. The air grows bitter cold. A low, tremoring moan rolls through the trees. Not a roar, call. The creature is summoning something. Jacob grips Evelyn's hand, whispering, "We don't stop. We don't look back." But every few steps, they hear it closer. Sometimes behind, sometimes ahead, sometimes above. The haze deepens, and then they see them, antlers, dozens of them, moving in the fog. But only one set moves with purpose. A shape emerges. Tall, wrong, branches woven through its shoulders like a twisted crown. Limbs bending too many directions at once. Its head tilts slowly, almost curious, almost human. It steps forward, revealing long, dripping claws carved from bark and bone. Its chest rises, and it releases a wet, rattling sound. Not a growl. A laugh. Evelyn squeezes Jacob's arm. "It's playing with us." Jacob realizes she's right. The creature could have attacked long ago. Instead, it's driving them deeper, steering them somewhere. He takes a step back. The creature takes a step forward. Then, in one smooth motion, it leans its head down and mimics Jacob's own voice perfectly. "Keep going." The haze thins just enough for them to see a downward slope. An unnatural crater carpeted with dead leaves. Bones protrude everywhere. Deer, bears, small animals, and human. This isn't a random kill site. It's a feeding ground. Evelyn grabs Jacob's jacket. "We can't go down there. This is a trap." Behind them, the creature's slow, deliberate footsteps. Ahead, the pit. To the left, antlers moving in the fog. To the right, more movement. They are being boxed in. Evelyn's flashlight flickers, sputters, then dies. Jacob's camera switches on by itself, as though something wants it recording now. Through the dim viewfinder, he catches a shape. A tall figure standing at the edge of the pit, staring directly into the lens, with empty white eyes. Then another to his left. Another behind Evelyn. All identical. all stature still. They don't breathe. They don't sway. They just wait, as if listening to something. Then Jacob hears it, the creature's real voice. Not mimicry, not imitation. A deep, ancient, resonant whisper that vibrates under his ribs. Choose. Jacob and Evelyn freeze at the edge of the offering pit, surrounded on all sides by motionless antlered figures, shaped like warped silhouettes of the main creature. The forest is silent except for the faint, rhythmic clicking of bone against bark, like an audience tapping their fingers in anticipation. Jacob's voice shakes. What does it want us to choose? Evelyn swallows hard. Maybe who it takes. The figures lean forward in perfect unison at her words, as if agreeing. Jacob grips Evelyn's hand tighter. No one's choosing anything. We move sideways, slow, quiet, toward that ravine. She nods, but the creature, the real one, slowly turns its head toward them. It tilts until its antlers scrape the branches overhead. Then it steps forward. All the smaller figures mimic the motion a half-second later. It isn't letting them leave. Not until a choice is made. Just as the creature reaches the lip of the pit, Evelyn spots something half buried under roots. A broken wooden trail marker, rotted and ancient. She brushes away dirt and reads the faint engraving. Timberline Reserve, closed 1987. There's more. In scratched handwriting below the engraving. Don't answer it. Jacob breathes sharply. Someone had been here before. Someone who knew exactly what the creature could do. The clicking stops. The trees fall silent. And a distorted version of Jacob's own voice whispers into his ear. Answer me. Evelyn yanks him backward. Don't respond. That's what it wants. The creature reacts. Its head snaps toward them with predatory precision. The ground trembles. Something big is coming. The trees around the pit begin to shift. Not swaying, moving. Roots twist beneath the soil. Branches curl inward like the fingers of a hand closing into a fist. Jacob stares upward in horror. The forest, it's collapsing around us. They scramble up the opposite side of the pit, slipping, grabbing exposed roots for balance. Behind them, the creature moves with nightmarish fluidity, like a shadow peeling itself off the ground. Its limbs stretch unnaturally, helping it climb the slope faster than any living thing should. Evelyn reaches the top first. She extends a hand. Jacob, go. He grabs her wrist, but the creature's clawed fingers close over his boot, dragging him backward. Jacob screams, kicking wildly, heels slamming into bark and bone. Evelyn digs her nails into his arm. I'm not letting it take you. With one final pull, she yanks him free. They sprint deeper into the thickening timberline. Behind them comes an unearthly roar. Not animal, not human. A command. And the forest obeys. Jacob spots something through the trees. A tall wooden structure, collapsed but still partially standing. An old fire watchtower. Up, he shouts. That's high ground. They scramble inside the rotting base, climbing the ladder that groans with every step. 30 feet up, the tower sways in the wind, but holds. They collapse on the platform, gasping, listening. Nothing. No footsteps. No mimicry. No bone clicks. Just the sound of wind brushing the distant treetops. Evelyn whispers, "Did we lose it?" Jacob doesn't answer. His camera is still recording, but the screen distorts, glitching as though something unseen is close by. And then, from below, a single, deliberate knock on the ladder. Then another, and another. Slow, mocking, counting. Jacob points the camera down the hatch. A shape climbs, but not like a person. More like something pulling itself upward. Each motion jerking, silent, wrong. A pale, antlered head rises into view, but this is not the creature. This is one of its lesser forms, smaller, more humanoid, bones protruding through the skin like branches breaking through snow. Evelyn grabs a loose plank of wood. We can't let it reach the platform. The thing climbs faster, its limbs bending like wet rope. Jacob swings first, slamming the board against its face. Bone cracks, but the creature doesn't fall. It simply tilts its head, studying him. Then it speaks, in Evelyn's voice. "Don't leave me." Evelyn swings with a scream, smashing its fingers. The creature slips, falls, crashes into the dark underbrush below. Jacob peeks out the railing. The smaller creature lies on the ground, then melts into the earth, like mud sucking down a carcass. He backs away, shaking. Evelyn whispers, "They were testing the tower, seeing how strong it is, seeing how we react." Jacob looks at her, horror dawning. "That wasn't the real one." She nods. "It's still out there." The moon rises through broken clouds, casting pale light across the forest. For a moment, the woods look still. Safe. Then Jacob hears it. A whisper drifting on the wind, ancient and cold. "Come down." Not mimicry. Not repeating. Calling. The creature is close. Evelyn backs against the railing. We stay here until sunrise. It can't climb fast enough to catch us both. Jacob listens as the whispering grows louder. Then a new sound. Footsteps. Dozens of them. From every direction. The smaller antlered figures gather below the tower, like a congregation, staring upward in dead silence. But the main creature is nowhere in sight. Jacob slowly pans his camera around the treetops, and then he sees it. Its antlers rise above the canopy, towering massive, and the head lowers, staring directly at them through the broken tower beams. It was never approaching the tower. It was always above it. The creature shifts its weight, bending its massive form low over the treetops. The entire forest seems to bow with it. Evelyn whispers, "Oh my God, it's bigger than we thought." Jacob drops the camera. The creature's voice fills the air, vibrating the tower, the trees, the ground. "You are mine." The tower shudders violently, then begins to tilt. One of the supporting beams splits with a deafening crack. Jacob grabs Evelyn. We jump into the slope, not the trees. The tower tips further. The antlered figures below spread out, forming a ring. The creature looms overhead like a collapsing mountain. Evelyn braces herself. Jacob counts down. 3, 2. Now. They leap. The tower collapses behind them, and the forest screams. When we jumped, I expected to break something. My ribs, my legs, my neck. I didn't care. Anything was better than being swallowed by that collapsing tower, or what waited beneath it. But the slope saved us. We hit the incline hard, rolling, sliding through frozen brush and snow-thin moss. Branches tore at my arms and face. My ears rang with the sound of splintering wood and the guttural groan of the tower giving way above us. Evelyn slammed into a fallen log at the bottom of the slope, gasping. I crashed a few feet beside her, coughing and dizzy. We staggered upright. Above us, the tower crumpled completely. Dust and splinters rained down. The lesser creatures scattered like startled birds, but the main creature, the one everything else answered to, remained towering over the ruins. Its antlers carved black silhouettes against the night sky. Its head bent low, not rushing, not angry, watching, like it already knew how this would end, like it enjoyed this part. Evelyn clutched her stomach, wincing. "You good?" I whispered, "I'll live. But if we don't move, it's gonna drag us back up that hill in pieces." We took off running. The creature's voice drifted after us, calm, steady, and impossibly close. "You belong to me." We tore through a patch of thinning pines and stumbled into a ravine cut by centuries of melting snow. Roots clawed out of the dirt walls like ribs of some buried beast. The narrow channel funneled our footsteps, magnifying every sound. Our breaths, our shoes, our fear. Evelyn hissed, "Listen." Silence. Then we heard it. The snap of branches. A dragging sound. Heavy. Measured. And then, footsteps behind us. Only it wasn't one set. It was two. No 3. No more. A whole crowd following us. Evelyn whispered. It's calling them. It doesn't hunt alone. We sprinted faster, the ravine walls closing inward. The ground dipped sharply. I nearly slipped. Something moved ahead. A pale flash of antler scraping stone. Evelyn rasped. It's blocking the way. Back, but behind us, shapes dropped into the ravine. Multiple. Silent. Watching. We froze in the center. Tunnel ahead blocked. Tunnel behind blocked. Sides too high to climb. I swallowed hard. Okay, think. Evelyn grabbed a long, exposed root and started pulling herself up. It doesn't matter how steep it is. We don't stay here. I followed, clawing at clumps of dirt and slick roots. Below us, the pale, twisted figures waited in rigid silence. And then, one began to climb. No sound, no struggle, just an unnatural, gravity-defying upward glide, like its limbs didn't follow the rules of weight or physics. Evelyn's voice cracked. It's floating up. Jacob, move. We scrambled onto the upper ledge as the thing's hand grazed my boot. I didn't look back. We ran. After nearly 20 minutes of pushing through uneven terrain, we stumbled out onto something that looked almost normal. An old logging road, just a strip of dirt and frost, bordered by stumps and rusted metal markers. But compared to everything we'd seen, it felt like a lifeline. Evelyn bent over her knees, panting. This leads somewhere. A station maybe. A camp. I lifted my camera. The lens was cracked from the fall, but it still recorded. The air grew colder. Too cold. Every breath we exhaled came out in thick white clouds. The temperature dropping so fast my fingers went numb in seconds. Evelyn looked around. It was 40 degrees a minute ago. Why is it? Crack. A tree snapped behind us. Not fell. Snapped. Like something massive had brushed past it. We turned. Between the tree trunks, an immense silhouette moved parallel to the road. Not hiding. Just keeping pace. The antlers were unmistakable. Evelyn whispered, "It's hurting us." My stomach twisted. Where? There's nothing out here. No, there is. She pointed to the faint glow ahead, warm, flickering orange. A fire. A campfire. Human, she said. It has to be. We ran toward it. Behind us, the creature shifted direction, staying just out of sight, but close enough that we could hear its joints creaking like old wood ready to splinter. We slowed when we reached the clearing. The fire wasn't human. It wasn't even fire. It was embers, glowing red symbols burned into the dirt in a perfect circle. Ancient, meticulously carved, radiating heat like coals from an extinguished inferno. Bones, hundreds, were arranged around it. Human, animal, mixed, all carefully placed, not scattered, not trophies, more like offerings. Evelyn's voice trembled. This is a ritual site. No, I whispered. It's a feeding site. A twig snapped behind us. We turned slowly. The creature stepped into the clearing, fully visible. No shadows, no cover, no illusions. It was at least 12 feet tall, thin but impossibly dense, like every bone was carved from stone. Its limbs were long, ending in hooked claws. Its skin was stretched tight over its ribs like dried bark. And its face was wrong. Not a skull, not a human, something in between. Eyes like hollow lanterns, glowing faintly. Jaw slightly unhinged, showing rows of teeth too small and too many. It leaned down, antlers bowing, breath freezing the air between us. Then it spoke, not mimicking, not mocking, speaking. You walk where you do not belong. Evelyn stepped backward, shaking. Stay behind me. I whispered, no, behind me. The creature cocked its head, amused. You ran from me, but all paths lead back. Evelyn forced out a question, voice cracking. What are you? The jaw opened wider. I am the memory of the forest. The first hunger. the keeper of the timberline. And you are trespassers. The lesser creatures emerged from the treeline, tens of them, forming a full circle around us. Evelyn grabbed my hand. We run on my mark. The creature's eyes narrowed. You will not. Evelyn shouted, now. We sprinted toward the narrow gap between two stumps, one of the only openings not blocked by the lesser creatures. But the massive beast reacted faster. It crossed the clearing in 3 impossible strides, claws tearing trenches in the earth. Its shadow swallowed us whole. Evelyn dove left. I dove right. The creature's claw slammed into the dirt between us, cracking the ground like glass. I rolled, gasping, scrambling to my feet. Evelyn sprinted toward the opposite treeline, but the smaller creatures rushed her, crawling, gliding, ready to drag her down. I grabbed a burning ember from the ritual circle, ignoring the pain searing my palm, and hurled it at the nearest figure. It shrieked, recoiling. The others hesitated. He hurt them. Heat. Fire. Evelyn. The embers. They're scared of them. The massive creature turned toward me, its gaze dropping to my scorched hand. A deep growl shook the ground. You dare. It charged. I grabbed another ember, then another, then shoved my entire arm into the glowing symbols, gathering handfuls of burning fragments. Pain exploded up my arm, but the symbols flared back to life, glowing red, brightening, heating. The ground vibrated. Evelyn realized it too. The symbols are part of something. It reacts when someone touches it. The creature froze mid-charge. Its body jerked, like something old and bound by ancient rules was resisting its movement. Evelyn shouted, Jacob, keep your hand on it. The creature roared in agony, its antlers thrashing, its claws digging trenches in the ground as if fighting invisible restraints, pulling it backward. The lesser creature screamed, melting into the earth like spilled ink. The forest shook. Trees bent away from the clearing. Evelyn grabbed my shoulder. Jacob, don't let go. But my palm, my arm, it felt like it was melting. The heat was unbearable. I screamed. Darkness closed in. The creature staggered backward toward the trees, body contorting. You will not bind me. The symbols brightened, then exploded with a pulse of light that shot skyward. The forest went silent, pitch black. When the blast of red light died, I was lying face down in the dirt, my hand blistered and shaking. The glowing symbols were gone. The embers were gone. Even the bones had vanished. For a moment, I thought everything else had too. The forest was quiet. No creatures. No footsteps. No whispers. Evelyn crawled toward me, coughing. Jacob, are you alive? Barely. We stood, leaning on each other. Then we saw it. The creature wasn't dead. It stood at the edge of the clearing, smaller now, hunched, its antlers cracked and smoking. Its skin split in long seams of glowing ash. The blast hadn't killed it. It had only weakened it. The creature stared at the blackened symbols in the dirt as if seeing a familiar prison. You know nothing. It rasped. You break what you cannot finish. It took a slow step toward us, limping, but still impossibly powerful. Evelyn whispered, We can't do this again, we're out. No, I said. We're close to the ridge. Downhill is the main road. If we run, now, we might get out of this forest before it does. We didn't wait another second. We ran. The creature didn't sprint this time. It stalked, injured, furious, but confident enough to follow at its own pace, because it knew the woods better than we ever would. The trees thinned. The air warmed. The roar of wind replaced the creaks of dying timber. And then, a glow through the branches. Headlights. A plow truck grinding its way down the road. Evelyn screamed, waving her arms as we burst from the tree lane and collapsed onto the gravel shoulder. The truck screeched to a stop, the driver jumping out, shouting at us in panic and confusion. What the hell? Where did you two come from? You look like you've been attacked by a bear. Behind us, the creature reached the edge of the tree lane, but it didn't cross. It stood in the shadows, towering, furious, its cracked antlers barely visible. Not stepping into the open road, not stepping into the light. It just watched. And then, slowly, it backed away, melted into the dark timber. Gone. Just like that. The driver hauled us into the truck and took us straight to the ranger station. An ER visit followed. Interviews. Confusion. No one believed us, of course. Our footage. Ruined. Static-filled. Corrupted beyond recognition. Every frame that once showed that thing had dissolved into black noise. But the ranger, the older one who had been working there for decades, when he heard where we'd been found, near an unmarked ridge deep in the closed timberline reserve, he froze. He didn't call it nonsense. He didn't laugh. He didn't question us. He just asked one thing. Did it follow you? We told him no. I wish I could say that was true, but sometimes, late at night, when everything is quiet, I hear things. A distant click, like bone tapping against wood. The same rhythm I heard in that offering pit. Sometimes a voice slips through the static of my baby monitor or mutters in the corner of the room right as I fall asleep. Not words, just breathing. Sometimes, when I walk past a tree line near my house, all the birds go silent at once. And every now and then, only for a second, I see a shape standing between the pines. Tall, antlered, still cracked with faint glowing seams, as if something inside it is still burning. It never steps into the open. It doesn't need to. It knows where I live now. And I know, with every instinct in my body, that it isn't finished. Not with me. Not with Evelyn. Not with anyone who walks too close to the timberline. Because creatures like that don't die. They don't disappear. They wait. And the worst part, I can feel it watching right now. Just beyond the last tree outside my window. Like it's reminding me. All paths lead back.